here, but they actually have a ranking, and they try to come to the streets with I don't know how to play chess, but you can look them straight up and say, man, you're a master.
Yeah.
Like, it's a hustle, just like anything else, just like the pool sharks and all that. You got chess sharks.
So how much, like, how big is the chess community? How is it a lot of people who really play chess?
Yeah. So a funny story. When I got introduced to tournament play, I've been playing tournaments and into the actual chess community a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I always played. I got a jail game. I've been playing in jail and in the streets and all that, run down on people. But I was down 13th in the market. What's that? Strawbridges? Yeah, Strawbridges. I'm at Strawbridges coming out and I see a bunch of kids walking out with bags, chest bags and shit. And me, as soon as I see chess or anything, I'm trying to figure out where it's at. So I'm asking, where y'all playing chess at? They tell me, yeah, it's a tournament going on at the Lowe's. That's where the tournaments are held at. The Lowe's on 13th Street, 13th Market. So I go in there and ask them around. They're like, yeah, you can sign up $40. You can sign up and jump right in the tournament. It's the World Open. I don't even know that. The World Open was held in Philly for like the previous 4 years. And this was the last year that it was in Philly. So they like, yeah, you can sign up $40, get you a membership, and then you have to pay to get in the tournament. So I'm like, all right, how much to get in the tournament? Like, well, $40 to sign up, and then $350 to get in the tournament. So, I jumped straight in. I jumped straight in the tournament. And I didn't know, this is my very first game. My very first time playing chess was in the big World Open tournament. And I get in, but I played like a side tournament before the actual tournament started. And this is how I got my ranking. I started off from the very first game in a high level because I jumped in the side tournament and I drawed a player that was a high level that was like 1900 or something. I lost to like a 1700 player or something, but I drawed the 1900, so that automatically was like, well, you're not a beginner, so you can't even start at the beginner level. So they gave me what's called a provisional rating. Provisional rating means you don't have 26 games, and you have to have 26 games and to have a real rating. So they're like, well, you don't have 26 games in, but you just drew a 1900 player, so you have a provisional rating of 17 something. So immediately they put me in the under 1800 section or something like that. And I'm like, well, damn, I'm starting to play the tough dudes from the rip.
Yeah.
So I've never played like the lower players, 1800, since I've been in, chess. And I only been in for 3 years, and that's like pretty much unheard of, really. And most people, they start playing and they're not over 1800 from the rip. So yeah, that's where I started.
So how good did you do in the tournament?
That first tournament, I probably came in like 30th place or something, out of like 400. But yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I really wasn't expecting to do high. I've never had a barometer to test where my real chess game is. Like, I don't care if I'm the best in the jail. I know you're only as good as the people around you. Most times, dudes aren't as good as they actually think they are.
Yeah.
Like, I might play 5 of my homies, I might be the best one. So I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm good. I beat everybody I'm around.
Yeah.
Then I get somewhere else, and I can't even get a win. So I don't pay that stuff no mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, just about every jail I've been in, I've always been the best. But that don't really mean nothing to me. It just means the jail was weak. Or none of these was actually, real players. Like I had an innate talent where I knew a lot of the techniques and the tactics and all that without knowing the names of them. But it just came to me, like it just felt right. And then when I started reading on chess, oh, that has a name. Oh, this is what you're supposed to do. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it worked like that for me.
So do you have like any moves or anything that you can show us, or anything you want to teach us?
I don't really have moves I can teach you. I mean, I can show you some opening principles and stuff like that. Like, that's generally what a lot of my classes start off with, teaching opening principles, because that's a critical part of the game. A lot of people don't actually have that. They jump right into the game. They don't realize, like, right out of the gate, you was lost. You might didn't know. I knew you were lost. I just had to basically execute some, technique to finish the game. But you can be losing out of the opening and not even know it. So you're not. So for instance, opening principles are such that you should make sure you get all your minor pieces out. Your minor pieces are your bishops, knights, and rooks. You should get these pieces active and in the game and get your king to safety. That's one of the opening principles. And you don't want to move the same piece twice if you can. So, for instance, white makes this move, and let's say black tries to move like this. That's a bad principle. This is not fighting for the center, and it's not developing a piece. Yeah, you might say, yeah, you're getting your rook out, but that's not really developing a piece. That's not a good development move. This is excellent. So after this, maybe white will try this, developing a knight, and say if black tries this, that's another bad move. For one, you're exchanging a less valuable piece, a more valuable piece for a less valuable piece. So we're gonna ignore that for a second. But moving this again is not a good principle because you're not developing your pieces. So just say we do that for white, for black, and then white does this. Again, another good principle because now you're developing another piece and you're preparing the castle to get your king to safety. So already you can pretty much say white is on his way to winning this game, and this is just still in the opening. So let's make another bad move for black. Again, another bad principle, and white castles. So white hasn't completed development because the queen side of development isn't developed, but because it's castled and it's got its pieces active, it's further ahead in its development.
And why is castling good?
Castling is good because it puts your king, it protects your king.
Okay.
So immediately now it's a double-edged sword because not only did you protect your king, you also gave your opponent a target. So it can be bad, but you give your opponent a target, but you still have some protection. So it's not just like an open target.
Okay.
So if they start using all their resources to try to attack your king and it's not successful, they just basically knock themselves out of the game, and now you have position. You can be positionally sound, you know. So you just aim for that. So say black tries that, and white will just continue along with its development, and black is still. So right now, this game is really lost for white. It's not technically lost. Like I'm not even attacking you, but being this far ahead in development is a lost game. Like there's no way I would lose a game like this. I don't even care as a grandmaster. Yeah, I'm not as good as a grandmaster, but if you let me get this much lead in development, I'm gonna beat anybody sitting across from me. It doesn't matter where your skill level is at. So that's the one thing about chess. You cannot be as good as somebody, but if you get in a certain situation, the board is the board. I don't like if you blunder a piece and I see the checkmate, I'm gonna checkmate you. It doesn't matter that you're 300 points better than me, something like that, or you're a beginner. If I got that opportunity, I'm gonna win the game. So yeah, so it's pretty much just to show a little more development moves. So white has a tremendous lead in development right here. Like I said, it's pretty much a wrap for black. There's nothing they can do as far as how underdeveloped they are, and the only way to for white to take advantage in this situation is to now they have to be very, very active. Because you have a lead in development, is only a temporary advantage. If you don't act on it, it's just a lead in development. You had a lead in development. So for instance, in this situation now, you can start sacrificing pieces because you're so far ahead in development. So when I do this, and now I'm attacking. I have my pieces out, and now you see where the lead in development really comes into play. Because in this situation, their king is a target, you know. And look at all these pieces I have out active, in a matter of jumps can be right at their king, you know. So see if they try this, and now I can simply check. And if they try this check, I come in with the queen. So they won't try that, so they go here. But now it's checkmate, and it's just that simple.
Wow. Simple as that.
Yep, just that simple. Just because they're leading development.
So in the tournament, do y'all play time? Is it minute?
Yeah, in the tournament we play with a clock. Generally speaking, for most tournaments, is you have 2 hours to make 40 moves, and then you get an additional hour. So it's basically a 6-hour game. Tournaments are basically 6-hour games, but it can be more than 6 hours because you generally get a 10-second increment. Yeah, it's you have to be in shape to play chess. It's not just people like, why would you have to be in shape? Because you have to have endurance. Your head, you have some serious headaches coming from a chess game. Like every tournament, I make sure I have a Tylenol or Motrin or something like that, and that's no joke.
Really?
Yeah, your headaches be out the world. I mean, just imagine using the muscle for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Using one muscle. I'm using my brain the entire time. That is, you know what I'm saying? Like studying for a test or something, or taking a test.
Yeah.
It's that intense. People use things like I forget the name of the drug they use, but
Like Adderall or something?
Adderall, exactly. That's the drug that a lot of chess players use. it helps them think or open their mind up, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually not even sure what it does, but that's the drug I've heard people be using, something like that. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so tell everybody where we can find you and how often how often in the community and stuff
Oh yeah,
like that.
you can find me at Chess in a Minute. That's all one word, Chess in a Minute. Also, we have this thing called Chess Chat. We run every other Sunday. Me and a couple guys, Childhood Lost and Superstar Steve, great guys. They have the chess program, and they let me be a part of that chess program. I also have a couple of private students that I teach. Always looking for more students. I'm actually just getting into teaching. That's why I haven't been really active in the tournaments, because I've been wanting to actually teach kids more than I want to play. I like to just really play for fun. I like to play speed chess. I don't really like to draw out long games and all that. So that's why I don't do so well in tournaments, in my opinion. I get bored after a while. I don't want to do the work over the board and look at, figure out the best move and all that stuff. So I'm impatient. But I really want to teach the kids, not for the game, just for the skills that they get from life.
Yeah.
Like I said, chess helps develop that that prefrontal cortex part of the brain, which allows them to use their critical thinking skills and stuff like that. And that's really the part that I want to get across in the chess. Yeah, I think my man Gucci put me down with them, but ever since they've given me so much work, they've recommended students to me and stuff like that. And we do the Chess Chat every other Sunday down 52nd and something. It's at the Urban Art Gallery. Yeah, we do that down there. We have probably 20 kids show up every other week. Yeah, we have a good time, man. It's pizza, we chilling. And we giving them the game, man. I feel like everybody has to do their part, man, and chess is my part. That's what I can bring to the table, and it helps them in other aspects. Like for me, I was hustling. I didn't have anything positive I was doing in my life. But because I was a chess player, I was always doing things a little different. Like even though I was hustling, I'd be sitting in my car waiting for my phone to ring, reading a book, something like that. Like people would come up to cop, and it's like, "What you doing, reading?" Yeah, just chilling. I ain't got nothing but time to waste.
Mm-hmm.
This is before phones, you know what I'm saying? So I was always doing. Maybe I was bad. Like I went to bad schools. I was always fighting, but I would always be fighting, like sticking up for people, something like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't just getting in trouble for nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I owe all that to chess, man. Me personally.